Hello again, chaps and chapettes, how are we all doing? It is lovely to speak to you all again. As always, today, my friends, as a country and as a people, have had a court ruling that has actually worked in our favour. Finally! A judge has ruled that the boat people being housed in Epping should be removed through public safety fears after a 14-year-old girl was essayed by a monstrous piece of shit that floated over from France. I have to say, guys, that the owners of all these hotels have to take a brunt of the blame here as well, selling their soul to the devil for untold wealth from the government is nothing short of absolute shithousery. A council has won its bid to block asylum seekers being housed at a migrant hotel after a series of protests, with those staying at the accommodation to be removed in the next few weeks. Just not quite quick enough for my liking. I'd want them removed within the next 24 to 48 hours personally. Epping Forest District Council had asked a High Court judge to issue an interim injunction to stop migrants from being housed at the Bell Hotel in Epping, Essex. The successful injunction means the hotel's owners, Samani Hotel Limited, has to stop housing asylum seekers there within 14 days. This Samani Hotels Limited, I've heard that name bandied around quite a few times over the last few days regarding these boat people being housed in these hotels. They have to be held accountable. Like I said, they are being paid millions upon millions of pounds to house potential to house criminals within communities on this tiny little island, putting children and women at severe risk. They should also be hurled up in front of a court when all this does indeed blow over and we start cleaning up our streets for fucking good. The hotel has been at the centre of a series of protests in recent weeks after an asylum seeker staying at the accommodation was charged with essaying a 14-year-old girl. Mr. Justice Airy granted the temporary injunction in the ruling on Tuesday. However, he extended this time for when the hotel must stop housing illegal asylum seekers to September 12th. Several protests and counter-protests have been held in Essex since Hadush Gababirizi, some fucking ridiculous name, allegedly tried to kiss a teenage girl. He has denied the charges against him and is due to stand trial next month, and when he does indeed stand trial, he'll be able to appeal the decision and be able to stay here indefinitely. That's how these lefty human rights lawyers work. They bog people down with so many appeals, so many fucking roadblocks in the way. There's just no point in even trying to deal with this. Just rubber stamp him and let him stay, no matter what fucking crime he has committed. This court ruling does indeed prove that we still hold the power over what goes in and what comes out of this tiny little island. I cannot stress this enough, my friends. These protests must continue through the weeks and coming months. Even when autumn and winter hits, get your brollies out and your fleeces out and take to the streets and tell this worthless government that enough is enough. I won't continue to idly sit back and stay quiet while our country is being decimated from within. Make these protests nationwide and make them huge. Overpower any kind of stand-up to racism counter-protests that are in favour of these people. Not through violence or thuggery, of course, although admittedly I'd personally relish seeing some Antifa tosser be knocked flying by some hulking concerned father, but through loud opinions and a sea of St. George's flags. The more widespread these protests become, the quicker we will start to see a clearing of our streets and safety finally starting to return. It's going to be a long, winding road, my friends, but we have passed the first junction and we have to press on. This is winnable, guys. Despite my past scepticism on this subject, I thought the right was incapable of organising. I am pleased to have been proven wrong on that very subject. That's my video, my friends. Thanks a lot for listening as always. Do let me know what you think in the comments. Carpe diem, and I shall see you in the next one. Cheers.